up, everyone? Welcome to a brand new episode of Audionots, your pop culture palate cleanser. I am Eric Oldboy, online with the infamous Mr. Ren. What's going on, my man?
What is up, man? It's been a hot minute.
I
Our
know we've
bad.
we've been busy doing so many things, all sorts of stuff. What have you been up to? What are the things that have kept you away from this marvelous podcast?
Well, I've been doing a lot of designing, a lot of t-shirt stuff, craft stuff. But then last week, the reason why I couldn't do the podcast was because I had my car in the shop.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
car troubles. It wasn't even a trouble, right? You were just like making sure everything was up to date.
yeah, it was more like a maintenance thing, like oil change, cabinet, stuff like that. So
That's cool. Have you been doing anything fun other than getting your car maintained?
yeah, over the weekend we actually went out with my sisters to get to a beach house for the weekend.
Nice. Yeah.
So we spent the weekend at the beach. It was pretty cool. Did like a really cool photo shoot because it was her birthday weekend.
Yeah. How was the weather?
The weather was perfect. I mean, really, really sunny. It wasn't like super cold. I think it was in the 80s.
That's awesome. I mean, you can't
Yeah.
ask for better weather than that in
Yeah.
Oregon mid-September.
Yeah, it's perfect. And we had a great time at the beach. Our house was like a 5-minute drive from it. So it was perfect.
Nice. That's
Got a
awesome.
lot. I got a lot of cool drone shots too. So it's pretty cool.
Oh, working
Yeah.
that drone. I saw one of them you posted. It looked straight like cinematic. It was really good.
Yeah. I had my sister ride her bike, and as I was like following her, I went up and saw like the back of her, what's going on, and I didn't
Mhm.
realize that there was like you could see the ocean on that side. Oh shit, this is pretty cool.
That's cool. I haven't seen that one. It must have turned out good though.
Yeah,
Very cool. What else? Anything else?
mostly just designing. We've been doing a lot of designing actually.
Yeah, we've had a lot of designs lately.
I actually have one that came today that
Oh,
a buddy of mine asked if I could do a website for like a gym.
ooh,
I had a
oh.
I had a decline
Why?
because of all the jobs we have, and I'm too busy. I can't, and I think I'm trying to stay away from web designing because it gets too complicated.
It is very time consuming for sure. Yeah, I got another job for us today too. I have to call back and dial it in.
Man, look at us,
Yeah,
big time
so we're,
now.
we're killing it. Everybody's in it. I think that people's businesses are starting to kick back into gear, and things are trying to,
Yeah,
people are trying to get stuff done. So there's lots of opportunity for those who want to start something new.
yeah. I've been super into my apparel business again, so I've been
Yeah.
making a lot of like heat press T-shirts and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
it's
you
been
showed off one last time. You should
yeah.
make some TikToks showing how it's done, like some like how it's done type videos.
Oh yeah, I've been doing that. I've been doing shirts. I've been doing stickers.
Nice.
I'll share it on the socials so
Yeah,
the nets can
share it.
see.
Yeah, so people can find it and watch it. What kind of views do you get on your TikTok? Is it in the hundreds, the thousands, the 100,000s?
It's in the tens and tens of twenties. It's
Tens and
ooh
20s of people. Let's go. We got to start
yeah
somewhere. That's for sure.
yeah. Wait, did you ever start the Audionots TikTok?
Still, I made it. You know, I should put so I made over the weekend, I made my very first ever TikTok, and it was strictly to mess with my mom. So on TikTok, for those who really know their TikTok, there's a filter that you can hold up the phone to like a photograph, and it makes the photograph come to life. It starts like blinking and smiling, and it's real weird.
It's
And
like the those pictures from Harry Potter.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I realized, I'm like, I wonder if this will work on like action figures. And it does, at least if they have like real human faces. So I took an action figure that had like a real human face, and I started videoing it. And she was it was a female, I forget what her name is, but the female bot from the old Austin Power movies, a fembot, I think is what they called them.
Yeah. The
And
one
so
that
I had
shoots
this,
out.
yeah, with her, she got the booby guns. And so I wanted to see if I could make her come alive. I still have it hanging on the wall. And so I filmed it, and it totally worked. And so I took that video and I uploaded it to TikTok, but mostly I just wanted it to mess with my mom. So I sent it to my mom, and I'm like, hey, can items be haunted? Can like an object be haunted? She's like, yeah, it absolutely can. Why? What's haunted? And I said, well, I have this action figure that I found, I hadn't seen it in like 20 years, and we're gonna hang it in the wall in the Audionots studio. I go, but I think it's haunted. Well, you should take it and put it in a Ziploc bag full of black salt or some weird like anti-haunting trick. I don't know. And so I'm like, oh, I go, hold on, I'll send you a video and you could tell me if something looks weird. And so I used that filter to make it look like it was blinking and smiling. It's creepy as all get out. And I send it
Yeah,
to her. I
I
go,
saw it too.
I'm like, does it look like she's blinking and smiling? And she's like, oh my gosh, that's so scary. You got to get rid of that thing. Don't do anything with it. Throw it away. And I'm like, you know what? We're coming over. I'm gonna bring it to your house so you can look at it in person. And she's like, no, absolutely not. Do not bring that to my house. And so then there's some time passed, and I text her back, and I'm like, no worries. I go, I won't be bringing it. I've lost it. And she comes back. She goes, what do you mean you lost it? I go, I opened it up to get a closer look at it, and it's gone now. I walked away. Now it's gone. Like I was insinuating as if it was like full Chucky, and like got up and like left the room. And she's like, you gotta be messing with me. That can't be. And she was like so like bought into it. So it was pretty funny when I went over to her house and showed her that it was in fact just a TikTok filter.
It'd be funny if like, the next step was like you bring over the empty box and like you somehow put the toy in her house. Like, what are you doing
just,
here?
just hide it in her house somewhere, just terrify her. The only downside to that would mean I'd have to open my mint in package,
Yeah.
Fimbot, and I'm not doing that. So, but it was a pretty good prank. So that was my first foray into TikTok. But now that I kind of understand a little bit better how it works and things like that, I'll be doing some more. I'm still gonna, like we said last episode, start with maybe some easy stuff where I kind of show off the bits of the room. In fact, I have right next to me, just off screen, a new toy. Like last time
Ooh.
I introduced a new toy. And so for everybody that watches on the YouTubes, here's the newest toy that we've got for the Nerd Gym.
What?
So it's one of these Dragon Ball guys. The kids call him Goku. And so, oh no, did one of my lights go? Oh, I see. I changed the. So yeah, we got a straight up Goku action figure, and this is another solid find. This was $7.99 at Target. I told you last time about how we like that weird little nerd section in the back of the Target.
Yeah.
And yeah, we picked up a Goku, and he's been hanging on the wall.
It's funny how you talked about Goku like so chalant,
Yeah,
not realizing how big of a name that is.
I know. Well,
Goku is anime.
Kid Danger was stoked. So it was mostly for him because I don't watch a lot of anime, and so I enjoyed the whole time like mispronouncing his name and saying, "Man, this Go-To is pretty cool. I really like Gokok. He's amazing." And then he gave me this whole lecture about how they're all named after vegetables and something about Vegetas and vaginas, and I don't know. But he gave me like a whole like lesson on Dragon Ball, so I know more than I did
Nice.
earlier.
Nice. Yeah, I think for me, my number one anime is Dragon Ball.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Super or GT. It's just Dragon Ball. The very first few seasons.
Yeah, this one says Dragon Ball Z Super. Is that a thing? Is that what this is?
Dragon Ball. Oh, it's Super. Yeah.
It is Super. Okay. So yeah.
Super is
But
basically the newest one.
I'm not like a huge anime guy, but the figure is cool. I really liked it. It looks good on the wall. So it was one more thing to hang. My wife probably hates me because every time she comes home, we have new toys hanging on the wall.
It's like, are you sure you want to go to Target?
I know she's gonna like never let me go to Target anymore because
Yeah.
I find such amazing, awesome toys there. It's cool.
Oh, I got you the other toy too for your B day.
Oh yeah. You know what? I can reach that. Watch this.
Oh, nice. Like magic.
It's like magic. And just like that, that's how close on the wall this was. So Ren, for my
Boom.
birthday, I just recently had a birthday, and Ren got me this one, which, as you can see, is Polka Dot Man from
Suicide
the
Squad.
Suicide Squad, and it came with King Shark's head, which is super dope.
See, it's a
So
twofer.
yeah, it is a twofer. In fact, I saw they had these. They have these guys at Target. They had them in that nerd section, and
Oh,
I was
nice.
gonna. I almost got one, but I didn't. They had John Cena, and I almost bought John Cena because he comes with the leg or no, the arms.
Yeah, you buy them for King Shark. You don't buy them for the toy.
Well, I'm glad you picked Polka Dot Man because he's super dope. He's actually one of my faves from the movie. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's my one thing I like to do. I like to give people that I know toys because usually when I do that, their spouse or their partner or their whoever hates it. Like, you're a grown ass man and why are you still getting toys? You know?
At this point, I'm pretty sure that Mrs. Oldboy is well aware that I like all this dorky stuff, and she doesn't fight me on it. She
Yeah.
she she gets it and she likes it. But I think people should know that Rin is like the best gift giver. I always struggle because I overthink it to the point where I don't know what to do, to where I almost freeze up and can't buy a gift. But like every gift you give is always a good one.
Yeah. Except those Thor movies. Just kidding. Those are the best ones.
But you did that on purpose just to mess with me. For a while there, he kept buying me the Thor 1 and 2 movies.
But to be fair, I gave you a gift on top of that, and that was just a frosting.
Yeah, it was more of a gag gift. You know,
Yeah.
I forgot we talked about last time about how I have this mysterious DVD Blu-ray box in the garage, and I forgot to dig
Oh,
through
yeah,
it.
yeah.
There might be Thor movies in there. I gotta remember. I need to like write a note. Look in the garage.
We should do like a exclusively for our Patreons.
It could be
Uh,
like an old stuff box opening.
yeah. What's in
Like,
the box?
what's in the box? Crappy DVDs. That'd be funny. Super funny. Well, I'm ready. Ready to start the show officially?
Oh, yeah, let's go.
Let's go. So let's start with the healthy stream. Okay, so we like to start with Disney Plus because Disney Plus always has something going on, and what they have going on right now is What If. What If's been cranking along, and I've been enjoying it. The last episode, it's kind of funny because I feel like every time they have an episode, I come on here and say that was my favorite one yet. But we did miss talking about the Doctor Strange episode, and that was not my favorite one. But the zombie episode was. What did you think? Are you all caught up?
Um, be completely honest, I haven't watched that. I haven't
Either one?
watched. I haven't watched since the Avengers one where they all died by Ant-Man.
Oh, okay. So I think these are the only two that's come out since
Spoiler
then.
alert.
Yeah, I know. You've been spoiled.
Oh,
I
so only
think
I'm missing two.
I think you're down to
Okay.
actually I think a new one just came out yesterday and I haven't seen it. So I'm missing the most latest one, right? Wait,
Hey,
what is
today.
today? Today's
It's
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Came out today.
Today. Yeah, that's right. So there is actually 3 that you haven't seen and 1 that I haven't seen. So I haven't seen the very latest one. So yeah, in my opinion, I'll be excited to hear your opinion because you've been so far pretty meh on the whole series.
Yeah.
I was meh on the first episode, but I felt a lot better about the following episodes. Like I liked that Ant-Man one. I thought it was cool. I thought Doctor Strange. A lot of people raved about that particular episode on the Twitters, but I was kind of bored with it. I think I just, in general, I'm a little bit bored with Doctor Strange as a character. So I'm really hoping Multiverse of Madness changes my opinion there. But the zombie one, because I'm kind of biased. I'll watch anything with zombies. In fact,
Yeah.
I have on my notes to watch some movie I just noticed on Hulu called Zomboat, and I will I will watch it. I guarantee. I guarantee it's bad, but I'll watch it.
I feel like I've seen that one. Is that like a
You
British one?
I have no idea. I literally jumped on my Hulu to finish watching Why the Last Man, and they advertise, like movies you'll like. It's got that bar,
Oh
and
yeah,
the
yeah.
very first movie that they know I'll like because I watched my fair share of zombie stuff is Zomboat, the movie.
I'm still waiting for like zombies.
Yeah, how have they missed that? That'd be an amazing cartoon. We should just start like our own comic and call it Zombies.
Yeah, zombie bees, dude.
Yeah, and
Dude.
they come and they sting you and turn you into a zombie or
And
something.
then you're afraid to kill them because you're gonna ruin the earth.
It's way worse than murder hornets. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
this is amazing. We've just written the whole thing right here. But yeah, so I'm curious to hear your opinions. Doctor Strange, a little bit boring. Zombie, Marvel loved it, and without giving anything away, I'm a big fan of when the good guys don't win, and they leave it up in the air enough at the end of this episode that, in my mind, the good guys don't win, and I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's why my favorite movie is Infinity War.
Yeah, I think it's because we see the good guys win so often. It's kind of nice to see them actually, have some resistance.
Yeah.
Also in the Doctor Strange world, since we're talking Doctor Strange, did you see, this is pretty cool news actually, that Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is set to feature Professor X and Captain Carter?
Yeah, I saw that. I'm super curious. I mean, Captain Carter, and you know who she is.
Sure.
I'm super curious who what they're gonna do with Professor X.
Yeah, have you heard any new rumors about which way they're going, young or old?
No, I all I know is what you just said.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we get. I love Patrick Stewart. Don't get me wrong. I'm a huge Patrick Stewart fan. But I think for the longevity of it, if they're going to bring back one of the actors and not cast someone brand new, I'm rooting for the younger Professor X.
McAvoy.
James McAvoy.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, final
He's a good
answer.
actor. I dig him.
Yeah, I think that'll be good. Well, that's the thing. They did a really good job casting that part, both young and old. And honestly, to be fair, I did not when I heard, because I knew who James McAvoy was from some other stuff before he was cast as Professor X. And I genuinely didn't think that he was going to be a good Professor X. And it turned out he was really great. So good on him.
It's kind of like when you saw that what's that guy from the zombie movie with Emma Stone? What's
The
his
guy
name?
from Woody Harrelson?
No, the
Oh,
other, the
no,
young guy.
Jesse Eisenberg?
Yeah, like when he got cast as Lex Luthor, like oh what?
Oh,
And then you want him to be like James McAvoy, like to impress you, but
right.
then you watch it like yeah, we knew this much, you know. Like, damn
Yeah,
it.
he didn't fit the part. So he was the
Yeah,
opposite of
yeah,
James McAvoy. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's kind of weird when guys like as a bald man, see no one knows, especially even the YouTube's people. I always wear a hat because I don't have a lot of hair. I shave it all the way down to like the same as my beard here because it's all fallen out over time, unfortunately. As a real bald man, nothing pisses me off more than when guys with good hair shave their heads bald. I'm like, bro, you've got the hair. Why have you done that?
dude, they're like hair appropriating you, man.
I know, and I'm upset. I'm going to take
Yeah,
action. I think that I'm going to have to start a group and, bitch about it on the internet.
only ball guys can play ball guys in movies. Okay.
Yeah, I can get behind that. I'm going to start that cause. I think that's a
Yeah,
good cause.
should make a shirt.
Also on I almost said also on Star Wars. Spoiler alert, I'm about to talk about Star Wars. Also on Disney, Star Wars Legos. They've been doing those little Lego featurettes. They're getting ready to give us a Halloween one called
Oh,
Terrifying Tales, and it comes out October 1st. And it's definitely aimed for the kiddies, but I'll watch anything Star Wars. And it looks kind of silly. Who did you see the trailer for this?
I did. Yes,
Who is that main? Is that supposed to be what's his face?
that's Poe, right? The
It's
main
Poe, right?
with the BB-8.
Yeah, so they don't ever say Poe, and it doesn't look 100% like Poe, but I assume that's who it was. So it looks like Poe Dameron has stopped at some sort of almost like it looks like it's a bunch of mini stories, but in the first one that they're kind of showing us, it looks like he's at some sort of like generic like Disney-fied hotel for Star Wars, and that looks
Yeah,
kind of funny to me.
it looks like a used Jedi temple that they made it into a hotel.
That they made into like a Disney hotel, and it looks pretty silly. And then it looks almost like it's a short anthology of like little short scary stories for the kids, and it looks silly, but it's hard to tell. Like last time they put out one of these movies, remember they did the Christmas special,
Yeah,
and I felt like they gave us all the best jokes in the trailer.
yeah.
I'm hoping that's not the case with this one.
I think for me, when I watched it, I'm like, this is like Star Wars. What if?
Oh yeah, it
Yeah,
is like Star Wars What If. And I kind of like the way these Lego movies always look. Like even though they're meant for kids, I just enjoy that animation style. It's
yeah,
easy and kind of fun.
yeah. And they make fun of themselves.
Yeah, and they totally make fun of themselves. And I really like that they sprinkle in humor that only adults would get because they have that very end scene that's from The Shining, the here's
Yeah,
Johnny scene. And they do here's whatever the guy's number is.
yeah. 248 4321.
Is that it? Did you
No,
just rattle it off perfect?
no. I just
Oh,
ran.
you could have told me it was, and I would have been totally amazed.
Yeah. What is the clones call those guys?
Yeah, what do they call them? They have like a derogatory nickname for them.
Yeah. Damn it, I
I don't
can't.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
press review myself.
I'm not good enough. But that part, I like that kind of stuff. When that's a joke that as a grown up, we have all seen The Shining, we'll
Yeah.
laugh. But like the 6-year-old who's never seen The Shining won't get it, but they'll still think it's funny because it's a
Yeah.
robot shoving its head through the door.
Yeah, they'll still laugh their butt off for
Yeah,
sure.
he'll still laugh. He'll still laugh. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'll watch it as a grown ass man who is bald and graying. I'll watch that on Disney Plus. I think that we should right now maybe cover, because we're in the Disney realm, our reviews of Shang-Chi, because we've both seen it. It's been a bit. We haven't been able to talk about it. So I think we could give a full-on spoiler-filled review. So if you haven't seen Shang-Chi yet, skip
Shame
if
on you.
yes, shame on you, first of all.
Shame
But
on you.
Shang on you. You can skip a little bit, but before you skip, we will tell you that this is I thought personally, this is a really good movie. In fact, anybody who follows our Twitter probably saw Ren fawning over it. He really liked it.
Yeah, for me, it was 10 out of 10. And then my Asian bias gave it 11 out of 10.
I thought the bias was giving it the 10 out of 10. It's a great movie. And without getting into the spoilers yet, I'll tell you why it wasn't a 10 out of 10 for me. It was still way better than average, way better than Black Widow. So it's by far the best Marvel movie this year.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Because I haven't heard your review on this yet.
I haven't talked to you about it yet.
Yeah,
so
because
I was saving it.
Yeah. Is it the end fight scene?
Yes.
I knew it.
My problem with this movie is the third act.
Yeah.
So for me, if you break it into parts, you have act 1, act 2, act 3. All movies have 3 acts, all plays, everything, right? So act 1, fantastic. I'm with you. Act 1 is a 10 for 10. It's an amazing setup. I really like the introduction of Shang-Chi. I like the introduction of Kate, or Katie, or whatever she's called. I like the character development. I like that opening fight scene in the bus. Holy smokes. Because we got bits of that in the trailer, and it was even better in the movie. The middle scene, the middle act, I give a 9 or 8.5, 9 out of 10. I thought it was really good too. I thought they can continue to develop the story. They brought in more characters. They started to build to what we're expecting, what's going to happen. And then the third act, the problem I had with the third act is when we're going to get a little spoilery. But the third act for me was too much. Like, I really liked how subtle the movie was. I really liked the villain. You know, his dad being the villain was super good. He's a great actor. It was just enough villain for this movie. And then I felt like Disney felt like they had to give us that big
more
budget giant action CGI for 20 minutes scene that we already at this certain point had defeated the villain. And then all of a sudden there's just more villains, and it's all like dragons and monsters, and it looked very green screeny to me. And I don't know if they'll go back and try to fix that a little bit. But for a movie that just came out, the latest movie that they produced, I felt like I've seen better special effects from Marvel than what they gave us in that third scene.
In the back of your head, were you expecting him to like grow big to fight him?
No, not all. But go ahead.
I have two. I wish this would have happened in that movie.
Okay.
I wish that his outfit reveal would be better.
Okay. Did you like the outfit, or you just didn't like the reveal?
I didn't like the reveal. Like,
okay,
like when you reveal an outfit, like for example, Falcon getting his Captain Falcon. Yeah, that was dope. You know, this one,
or the Spider-Man's whenever he finally gets his new uniform. Yeah.
This one you kind of see it when it was folded up, and then when you actually he's just running. Oh, what I missed, guys? You know.
Yeah.
It was like, wow. And then the second thing I kind of wish that would have happened was, like you said, the ending fight scene with the big ass monsters.
Yeah.
I kind of wish that the big monster would have like turned into some kind of human form.
Mm-hmm.
So he would have fought that human form like one-on-one in a smaller scale, so you could see more action.
I felt like, it was. I think they didn't need any of that. The fight with his dad was awesome. It was emotional. I mean, like I said, they'd done a really good job. That's the one thing I have to give Marvel a lot of credit for versus DC, is they developed their villains, and the villains aren't solely motivated to take over the world. I mean, sometimes that's what they want to do, but they have all these reasons.
He was at first because I'm bored.
Yeah, and then that was unique, right? I hadn't seen that before where here was this guy that just wanted to take over and dominate and then settled down for love and became like a regular Joe, which was really cool. And then, he had that ripped away from him and he became villainous again. And it made sense to me why that would happen. And for Shang-Chi and him to go at it was great. And I get all of it. And I didn't need any more than that. And so once they started bringing out the dragons, and I felt like they needed to make sure the whole village, all these side characters, got to get into the fight, and Katie all of a sudden shoot an arrow like nobody's business, like she's female Hawkeye, and all these different things were happening. It was fine. I mean, I didn't hate it, but it was unnecessary.
Yeah, I think for me, my favorite thing about the movie is the fight scenes.
Yeah,
You have Simu doing his own stunts, his own like fight choreography, sort of thing. And I hate I hate it when an actor and actress can't really fight that good. So they have to cut scenes to, or they have to like speed things up or make it look like it's hitting harder, like like
yes.
that
Or they didn't
editing.
have the shaky camera.
Yeah, yeah. So to make it, allude that, it's a cool fight scene, but this one's like straight up just old school Jackie Chan, doing his own stunts, going through small holes and fighting, bamboo sticks and shit like that. It was dope.
Yeah, I think that what we learned is that martial arts fits in nicely into the superhero world because you're right. The fight scenes were some of the best we've seen in forever.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
super good.
It gave me goosebumps, like, because like I'm an old school Jackie Chan, Jet Li, all those Chinese movie. For me, Tony Leung's been like in my life for forever. And then some of these people that watched Shang-Chi, it was like the first time seeing Tony as an
Yeah.
actor, but
Hmm.
as our community, we know them forever. So he's like
That
a legend in like the Asian community.
that's really cool. And he was a
Yeah.
great actor. I mean,
Yeah.
so good. Um, yeah, I liked all of it. And plus, I saw a lot of people trying to act like, at least before the movie came out, a lot of people trying to act like Simu wasn't going to be a strong enough leading man. They didn't have enough personality, and I have to disagree with that
Oh yeah.
100%. He was great. Like I really liked him. He's honestly, um, he jumped right in there as one of my favorite Marvel heroes.
Yeah, me too. Like Simu is just Simu, and his I don't know why people complain about he don't have enough personality. He's all personality, dude. Like
Yeah,
he's a man of the people.
he's relatable,
Yeah.
and it doesn't matter who you are. You like, I can relate to this guy because he's just a regular guy going about his business, and he's so likable. It's kind of like people often say Ryan Reynolds just plays Ryan Reynolds over and over again, but of course he does. He's so likable. Who doesn't want to hang out with Ryan
Yeah.
Reynolds? And this is the same thing. So why their comedy is a little bit different, I think that Simu is just as likable as Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. Like I said, he's like a fanboy, just like you and me,
Yep.
His toys came out. What do? He went to Target and bought his own toy, like
Yeah.
like if you were that in that situation, yeah, or me, I would have done the same thing. I'm like,
Mhm.
hell yeah, look at this action figure myself, freaking
Absolutely. And if
awesome.
you're not following him on social media, you should, because he has a really good social media account. We follow him on our Audionots Twitter, and
Yeah.
he's always tweeting really good, funny things.
Yeah, my favorite is somebody calling him out saying that with all these trailers coming out, you practically, show the whole movie. And then he replied back, you ain't seen shit.
My favorite callback was when they were he's like, everybody's acting like the movie was gonna flop, and it was like breaking all sorts of records even though it's a pandemic. And he's like hit him with some old like iStock photos, like, and it said something about, look at me enjoying the movie. He's doing like one of these, like,
Or the pointy
like
ones. Yeah.
staged. Yeah, it was great. I loved it.
Oh, and the tweet that I just mentioned, the you ain't seen shit, he actually went back and replied to his reply, like, I told you, after the movie came out. It was freaking
Yeah,
hilarious.
he stuck with it. I love it. He wanted everybody to know that he's not an experiment, and this was going to be a good film. And he's right. It's a great film. Top 10 for sure.
Yeah, because like we watched Kim's Convenience. I watch a lot of
Mhm.
Wong Fu. So Simu's been, I've known Simu in the movie or show aspect for a while. And some of these people that and never seen any of that stuff, they're like, "Oh, who is this guy? He's so new. How's he gonna carry?" Sort of thing. Like, it's
I
Jung,
think
man.
people are so Yeah, people are so used to having the same characters for so long that they forgot that most of these people are in the Marvel universe are famous because they were in the Marvel universe. There was only a few of them that came on in the early days that were already really popular actors. You know, who the hell knew who Chris Hemsworth was before Thor? Nobody.
Nobody. If you told me you
Yeah,
did,
so
you lying.
yeah, you straight up lying. So yeah, I think that everybody, you gave it 11 out of 10. I'd give it a solid 7.5, 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it so much that I heard that there was this short that they'd made that kind of described the fake Mandarin, and I had never realized that. And I came home and watched it on Disney Plus. Have you heard of this?
I heard of it, but I wasn't sure if it's like it's old, right?
It's old. It came out with Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
So
I
they
didn't watch
have
it yet.
Oh, you should watch it. So it's totally worth a watch. It's 13 minutes long. It's called All Hail the King, and it follows the fake Mandarin as he's been arrested. He's in jail, and everybody still like worships him. They think he's super cool. And so this documentarian shows up to film him and get his life story. But it turns out the documentarian guy works for the Ten Rings, the real Ten Rings, who now we know better, and decides to break him out so he can take him to the real Mandarin or whatever they call him in these movies. And so it was just really funny how if you go back and watch a short, it totally ties in with what we get in the movie.
Nice. I think that tie-in is hilarious, and they did like such a great job to like fill in that hole that was missing.
Yeah, they kind of went back and fixed the mistakes they made. And he's like, they're scared of an orange.
Yeah, freaking funny.
It was really good. I don't have anything really on Netflix. Have you been watching anything on Netflix?
The only thing I've been watching on Netflix is The Walking Dead because the new season came out.
Oh,
The last season came out,
you
so
look at you sticking with The Walking Dead. Good for you.
all the way, man, until it's over.
Is it any better? Has it improved?
No, it's ever since ever since when was like after Negan? No, before
Is Negan
during
still in
Negan.
it?
He's still in it, but he's kind of like dumb. Yeah, after that whole Negan stuff, it just went downhill. So
Yeah, I quit watching it seasons ago because
oh,
they
that one season
got
when they start
too
doing the
dumb on me.
face stuff, like the close-up face.
Oh yeah, the close-ups of
Yeah.
everybody's faces. Yeah,
After
I
that,
hated
it
that.
was
And then
like
they killed the
downhill.
kid.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But I'm a committed man, so I'm
I
watching it.
I give you props for sticking with it because it doesn't seem good anymore. Over on Hulu, I've actually been watching quite a few things on Hulu. Hulu's been
Oh
dropping
yeah,
some good stuff.
me too.
I think both of us have been watching Reservation Dogs. Are you still digging it?
Oh, I'm still behind.
Oh, you're still behind?
Yeah, so I'm not caught up like you. But so far, I still dig it. Yeah.
The last two episodes have been a lot more serious, and so it's kind of nice to get that yin and yang between the silly comedy side of it, which was what they gave us early on, and then this more serious heartfelt side. Like we finally learn what happened to the one kid that's been missing and things like that, and it gets a little intense for that kind of show.
Yeah, because they introduced him at the beginning, and now they're going back, touching up on him.
Yeah, they do a good job of continuing the story that way, and so I still really recommend Reservation Dogs. If you guys aren't watching that, it's a great show on Hulu.
Yeah, because I've been watching What We Do in the Shadows season 3, so I've been
Ooh.
slacking on Res.
Yeah, that's fair though. I mean, at least you're watching Taika because we did a whole Taika Stan broadcast last episode, and I think we're still there. We still love Taika. We should start like that should be our Patreon thing, like a 20-minute nothing but hot Taika Waititi talk because he could fill a 20-minute episode all day.
I know, there's so good.
So good. I watched a movie on Hulu. We talked about the trailer. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie itself, but I watched Vacation Friends with John Cena. Did you ever see that?
Yeah, I watched that too.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. What did you think? What did you think of Vacation Friends?
It was a very predictable movie, but it's funny for what it is.
Yeah, it's definitely, let's see, I don't know how to describe it. I would be upset if I paid money to see this movie. I wouldn't be upset. I'd be disappointed if I paid money to see this movie in the theater. But as a freebie on a streaming service I already have,
Yeah,
I liked it enough. It was
yeah,
funny.
yeah. And
It has some good bits.
Yeah, John Cena is like over the top in this movie, and sometimes I'm just like, I don't mind it.
I almost think this is my favorite type of John Cena. I don't think he should ever try to play serious again because he's kind of a okay actor and he works better in comedy.
Yeah, I think the whole movie was just uh for me, I kind of knew it was gonna happen, and then it's just still fun to see how it happens.
Yeah, they did give a lot away in the trailer. So if you are interested in Vacation Friends at all, don't watch the trailer because I think you would enjoy it more because they gave away probably 10 of the best jokes in the trailer.
Yeah.
I've also been watching Why the Last Man, not like why the Last Man, but why the letter Y, the Last Man. We talked about this last time based on the trailer. I've seen the first two episodes, and what's interesting about it hasn't gotten very good reviews. If you look it up on the interwebs, the reviews have been pretty mediocre. I think it has just shy of a 70%, which isn't too bad of critics on Rotten Tomatoes, but it's well below 50 with the audience. And honestly, I've only seen the first two episodes, and in my humble opinion, episode one was good, like really good. Episode two has been more of a character development episode, so I could see where it's a little slow. But if it stays slow, like some of the people on the interwebs have suggested, I can see why they didn't like it. But I don't know. It's been okay.
I haven't watched it, so I have no opinion on it.
Yeah, I would suggest if you're interested at all, like if it doesn't torque your interest, I would avoid it. But if you're like, oh, I'm intrigued to a little, some degree, watch at least the first episode because the first episode is just good TV.
Oh, staying in Hulu, I
Yeah.
just watched a movie last night. I
Oh,
finally watched Love and Monsters.
Oh, okay. What'd you think?
I after I was finished, I really enjoyed this movie. It was like super
Yeah,
cute, super like it was pretty funny, and it was like a cool adventure, like RPG adventure, like him being a nerdy kid going out to the wilderness, leveling up, picking up teammates, and going on an
yeah.
adventure. It was pretty cool.
It's a great movie. Yeah, I like that too. Love and Monsters is a fantastic movie. If you haven't seen it, I actually paid. Remember when that came out? I paid to stream it early on. So yeah, it's a winner. I think if that had been able to come out when it was non-pandemic time, it would have been like a surprise hit in the theaters because I think they would have had the word of mouth to where
Yeah,
people said this movie's good.
yeah, because like what's his face, Maze Runner, Dylan Howard,
Dylan,
Dylan some.
yeah, Dylan something.
Yeah. He's his best role is when he plays like the nerdy kid.
Yep. Yeah, when he's kind of out of his element and just trying his best.
Yeah. And then the Asian chick in that movie that's from Iron Fist.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I want her to play uh Mandalorian Ren.
Oh,
Sabine Wren,
yeah.
yeah.
Sabine Wren. She'd be a great for that
I
character.
want
I
her to
really
be
like her.
Sabine Wren so much.
I've liked her in almost everything I've seen her in. I haven't always liked the show she's in. Like I didn't like her in the Danny Rand show, but I did like her in Game of Thrones.
Yeah. It'd be funny because like in Iron Fist, she was with the nurse lady.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then if she's in the Mandalorian, she'll be back with her because she's Ahsoka and
Oh, that's
she's
right.
so they're already had that chemistry going on.
Maybe what's her face will put in a good word for her and get her cast because that is a good fan cast. I like that.
Rosario Dawson, yes, I did it.
Nice.
It'll be
Oh,
perfect.
bringing all the
Disney,
names.
Disney cast Christina, whatever her name is, as Sabine
I,
Wren. Henrik, I don't know.
I have no idea. Whatever you say, I believe you. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, that's a good movie.
because everybody thinks that they gotta get some young girl. Like they're not young, right?
Right. This is further up because even Ahsoka's older now.
Yeah, so it's like it'd be perfect.
Yeah, I agree. Um, I've also been watching on. I have a surprise show that none of us even thought about
Whoa.
on Hulu that came out of nowhere, and I've really been enjoying it. And it's like I did not expect to enjoy it as much as I have. And they're releasing it one episode a week, and every episode when it's over, I just want more. In fact, I just watched the episode last night.
The heck is
Uh, it's
this?
called it's called Only Murders in the Building. And so Only Murders in the Building is crazy because you know what it's about? A
Murders.
podcast. It's just
What?
like us. Yeah. So Only Murders in the Building stars Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez. And the basic
Oh.
concept of it is they're all fairly wealthy and they live in this kind of uppity, fancy building in New York. Selena Gomez is in her aunt's house. Her aunt's not there, and she's renovating her aunt's apartment for her. Martin Short is a former like play director. He directed lots of plays and he's very over the top. And Steve Martin is a former actor. He played like a TV cop on a TV show at one point. And so now all three of them live in this building. Well, in the very first episode, somebody gets killed and they all get kicked out of the building while the police are investigating, and they all happen to end up in the same restaurant where there's only one table, and they all sort of recognize each other. They don't know each other, but they all sort of recognize each other from living together in the same building, and they come over and agree that they'll share the table. And Steve Martin's already there and he's listening to a podcast, and they realize that they all like the same podcast, so it kind
Nice.
of unites them even though they're all completely different people. They all like these crime podcasts. And so they get to talking and they say, you know what we should do? We should make a podcast out of this murder and figure out what the hell's going on. It's going to be great TV because you've got a director, an actor, and this one girl who we don't really know yet that has a weird interest in it as well. And it's just really clever. And they're like, okay, we're going to focus on only murders in our building. That's the name of the show. And it's like this kind of silly humor. And I forgot how good Steve Martin is as an actor. And the chemistry among the three actors is what really makes it kind of stand out. It's like this old school comedy, but it just works so well. And the mystery is just enough to make it feel clever. And I've really enjoyed it. I highly recommend Only Murders in the Building. Even if you don't think it's something you would normally watch, give it a couple episodes.
Wow. Hulu bringing the heat. Damn.
Yeah, yeah, I really like it. So my wife and I, we tune in every time it comes out
Wait, is this show that you and your
uh,
wife watches?
together, and both of us like it.
Wow.
So it's not nerdy like the normal stuff I watch. So
Yeah.
she's into it.
Maybe I'll watch it for Selena Gomez.
Yeah, yeah. Selena Gomez has turned out to be a good little actress, and I give her credit for being able to stay on the same screen with, titans like Steve Martin and Martin Short. And by the way, Steve Martin became an old gray-haired man when I was like 12, and he still looks
Still.
exactly the same. Yeah, he went old real early, and then just stayed old forever, and doesn't ever change. It's amazing. Over on Amazon Prime, um, I haven't really been watching anything on Amazon Prime, but I do have a couple of things that they've recently released. They've been hinting at turning the book series Wheel of Time into a TV series, and they finally started putting out the trailers for that. It comes out in November 19th to be exact. And I'm not sure about this because I'm a little worried it's going to be like that weird what was that fairy show that they had that was kind of boring?
Carnival Row.
Yes, I'm a little worried that it's going to be like that. But I guess I never read these books, but I guess that the book series is pretty great. What did you think about the Wheel of Time trailer?
It looked like another version of Shadow and Bone.
Oh, yes, that's a good call too.
Right.
And that was kind of boring as
Same,
well. I never even finished that.
same thing, dude. You have like people using elements as powers, like
Yep.
only these people could do it. And then sure enough, who's the bad guy? The darkness comes in. You're like, oh, dude.
Yeah, so I don't know that either one of us necessarily recommend this show, but I'll probably check it out because I watch too much TV. The Wheel of Time.
Oh, I'm gonna watch it for one reason only,
Yeah,
and
and
that is Daniel Henning.
who's that?
He's the Asian guy in the show. You kind of see him,
What
and
else has he been in?
You might know him as Tadashi in Big Hero 6,
Oh, he's the
Hero's brother.
voice.
Yeah. He's in also like these crime TV shows. And my sister loves him. So,
Well, there you go. Gives you a reason to watch. And I'll watch at least, I'll give a few episodes unless it turns out to be boring like Shadow and Bone.
oh, yeah.
Also on Amazon, this is kind of cool. They're getting ready to start promoting the new season of The Boys. And they've put out on their fictional, they have a Vought, is the bad company in The Boys. Vought has its own Twitter account. And so Vought International on Twitter released a new music video by A Train,
Oh, yeah.
which I thought was hilarious. That's played by Jesse T. Usher. And in the video, the Seven's resident speedster performs the new single Faster, which also apparently is streaming on Vodify, which I'm assuming is their Spotify, which
Yeah.
I thought was cool that they went to all the effort to make this fake video, because I watched it and I'm like, this is pretty good.
Yeah. You shared it on our Twitter too.
Yeah. Did you watch it?
Yeah. It's very good
I thought it was
marketing.
pretty good.
Yeah.
It's genius marketing is what it is. I thought
Yeah.
it was really good. So good on them. I'm already excited for The Boys. They don't need to market to me because I'm ready for it.
Did you go to Comic-Con to see them?
No, we talked about it and I had so many things going on. I didn't have time to, but I really wish I could have.
Yeah. I would have gone if it wasn't my sister's birthday weekend.
But the funniest thing about it is it was Kid Danger's birthday weekend too. So we were doing that stuff.
You should have convinced him. Don't you want to go meet Homelander?
He doesn't. Okay, I'm gonna tell you something that makes me ashamed. He doesn't like The Boys.
Oh, maybe it's too dark for him.
He loves Invincible, but he doesn't like The Boys. He said it was boring. I'm like, get the hell out of
Yeah,
here.
who raises kid?
I failed. I failed as a parent. I failed.
Now later on when he
So,
turns like
each
20,
to their own.
yeah, when he turns like 24, hey dad, I rewatched The Boys.
Well, I mean, I figured it'd be perfect. He just turned 16, and I would think that a super violent superhero show would be his thing, but he's just not into it, I guess.
I don't know.
Oh, well. Is there anything on Amazon you want to cover or any other streaming things before we take a break?
I think I'm good.
All right. So I think this is the perfect time to take a quick break. On the flip side, we're going to give you a handful of tasty trailers and a few really good news jacuzzi stories. We'll see you guys on the flip side. Need affordable graphic design? VisualAntiDesign.com should be your first stop. High quality work at low prices. Perfect for every need from corporate to personal. Visit VisualAntiDesign.com now and request your free quote. And for a limited time, mention Audionots for 10% off your first project. The internet's been kind of pausy. I don't know why.
Yeah, I think I checked mine. Mine's good.
So it must be me. I can't tell because it doesn't show it on my side, but you pause, and I assume it's happening on one of the sides.
Yeah, I went to like internet speed test on mine earlier when my screen went darker. And mine's still good.
It must be me. All right, let's go. And we're back. What's up, everybody? I think it's time for the tasty trailers. Okay, so my first trailer is actually because we've been so long before we've done this cast that I had to sit in here for like 3 weeks, and it would have been coming soon, and now it's out now. But it's Hollywood's favorite genre, badass lady kicking Kate. The movie is just simply called Kate. What did you think about the Kate trailer? Have you actually? Let me stop. Have you seen the movie?
No, I haven't. Because like I saw it on Netflix, but then I'm like, what is this? Another Woody Harrelson movie? That dude's in everything.
He is in everything.
And I went next. But
what do you think of the trailer?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think now?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like all those other movies, with badass female lead with like the name title, and they're out for revenge.
I feel like I've never seen a genre with so many copycats before. It's not unusual to have copycat movies, but just like one right after another.
Yeah, and this stars the one chick from Birds of Prey. The Arrow lady.
Yeah, I don't know the actress's name. The only thing I wrote down was Woody Harrelson, and you've already said that.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how it's like taking place in like Japan or something, and she goes and just kick the yakuza's ass or some shit. It's weird.
Yeah, I know it's interesting. I might watch it now that I know that it's already out. I might go ahead and watch it because what else am I gonna do? And I'll report back whether Kate is any good. Like now we have like a scale. It's like, is it um milkshake versus whatever the other one was? There's been so many. I
Jolt.
can't remember.
Yeah.
Jolt and Kate. I mean, there's so many of these movies. Atomic Blonde. In fact, this one even said it was produced by the Atomic Blonde peeps. So I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah. There's one fight scene there I saw. They're like, huh, huh, and it's like, oh, it looks so cheesy.
And the special effects don't even look good in the trailer. They had like flip over this car that's got like some ground effects and it's like crashing, and it'll straight up look like a Grand Theft Auto screen.
Yeah. Let us know how it is.
Yeah, I'll watch it. I'll take one for the team and I'll watch this one. My next trailer is Matrix 4. This is a big one. I personally loved Matrix Uno. I did not even watch. I may have watched the second one and I forgot about it. I disliked it enough that I never even saw the third one. So I
Wow.
don't know if I have to see the other two to enjoy Matrix 4. But it looks to me like they said, let's make a new Matrix, but this time star John Wick. And it looks awesome. So the trailer makes it look awesome, but I have no idea. What did you think about the Matrix trailer?
My word of advice is to watch some kind of recap first,
Mm.
because I watched the trailer. I'm like, so what happened in the last movie? It's been
Yeah,
so
I couldn't
long.
remember either.
And then I'm like, this looks so cheesy.
So recap us since you've watched this video. What happened? How did it finish? And why would this make sense now?
Oh no, I didn't watch the recap. That's the
Oh,
thing. But I should have watched the recap before I watched this trailer.
I
Because
think
what?
that I think we should do that in our next episode. We should come back and catch everybody up so they know what to expect, so they can remember.
Yeah, there's like a. Did they replace Morpheus with a young Morpheus, or I don't know, man. It's like he's been out of the Matrix, and then because I thought that it ended him being like
Freed
or some, I don't know, dude. That's why I need to watch the recap.
I
No,
yeah, I
it's
don't
just
remember either.
it's basically John Wick went to the computer and start like killing people.
Yeah, I mean the special effects look dope. It's got cool music in the trailer. So the trailer itself makes it look cool, but I agree. I mean, what was amazing about the original Matrix movie is we hadn't seen some of those effects before. Remember how fucking our minds were blown by the bullet thing? Everybody's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
wow." And so now it's kind of like whatever. We've seen that 1,000 times.
Yes, I know kung fu.
And he's like whoosh, and like shanks like Walmart brand Morpheus into the wall. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think they needed this movie, but whatever. I'll watch it.
Vi- Visually, it looks awesome. Content, not so sure. Oh, and it has Neil Patrick Harris. That alone is almost worth a ticket. My next trailer is for a big one. We hinted about this literally last year because we were excited by the amount of star power this film
Last year?
has. Yeah. In fact, this I remember we talked about this so long ago. It may even be longer than last year. We talked about this so long ago. We were broadcasting from the pool table in my garage.
Whoa. Was it Morbius? I was just kidding.
No, not the Matrix. We're talking about Red Notice. Red Notice
Oh,
stars my favorite, The Rock, my favorite, Ryan Reynolds, and my favorite, Gal Gadot.
it's a
A lot of favorites.
trifecta, man.
A trifecta of favorites.
I
So
feel like we're just repeating what we said.
yeah, absolutely. Because these people are all smoking hot, but we have a full trailer now. What'd you think of the Red Notice trailer?
Well, the first time I saw Ryan Reynolds act with The Rock was
Mhm.
in Hobbs and Shaw.
I've never seen that movie. In fact, when you said it just taking all the people from the Fast and the Furious, because we talked about this a little bit offline, I thought to myself, well, I'm not going to correct him, but I don't think Ryan Reynolds has ever been in the Fast and the Furious. But you're telling me he has?
Yeah, he comes in. He's not in the Fast and Furious. He's in Hobbs and Shaw, which is like a spinoff of a spinoff.
Mm.
And he comes in as an agent for a bit to like "Hey, Rock, this is what I need you to do," and they have this whole bit that's pretty funny. And
Yeah.
so this trailer kind of like for me, it kind of continue on their chemistry, and it's hilarious.
So you think this movie's gonna be any good, or do you think this is gonna be another Six Underground, which is my biggest fear for it?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm hoping that it'll be good because of the amount of star power and like how it should be funny, and I'm hoping that the story is not going to be like really dumb. That's it.
Yeah, because it appears as if there's, I can't tell if they're a team or two different, but Ryan Reynolds and Gal Gadot are thieves of some sort.
Yeah,
And The Rock is the guy, FBI bro, trying to catch him. And he catches Ryan Reynolds, and maybe he says, "Hey, if you help me catch so and so, we'll reduce your sentence or whatever it is." And so then they have to play the buddy cop thing while chasing a super hot Gal Gadot. Am I wrong?
yeah. And then the plot twist is going to be there's even a bigger bad guy, and then it's going to be a trio against the bigger bad guy.
And it will turn out that The Rock works for the bigger bad guy, and he'll join them and become a bad guy with them. And the next one will just be the three of them robbing things.
Yeah, and then be called the Heist Part 5.
The
I know. I mean, I'm
Fast and Furious.
yeah, I'm gonna watch it because of the amount of star power in there, and it's like, how can you not watch it? You know,
And if you
smoking
already have
hot gal.
Netflix,
Ooh, yeah,
yeah, which half of the world has Netflix, right? So if you already had Netflix, this has to be one of the most expensive Netflix originals ever.
yeah. You got three of the hottest stars right now, and they're all driving like Beamers, man.
Yeah, but you're not wrong. These are three of the biggest movie stars. And
Yeah,
so yeah, I'll watch it just for that.
in one movie.
One movie. Red Notice, not Netflix, November 12th. My next movie is called Moonfall. Moonfall is a theater only movie, comes out February 4th. So this is next year. But it stars the one, the only, smoking hot, never ages Halle Berry. And I'll tune in for her. But forgive me if I don't think this is the most ridiculous plot that I've ever seen. What did you think about Moonfall?
I actually saw this trailer before Shang-Chi. I mean Shang-Chi.
Really?
Yeah, it was part of the trailer that they showed. And then I'm like, this movie looks ridiculous.
Well, it has to just be an end of the world movie, right? You can't prevent from what they've shown us because it appears that the moon is literally crashing into Earth.
Moonfall. It's
Yeah, moon fall.
moon's falling.
Yeah, and so there's no way you get away from this unless they're far enough in the future where they all kind of like rocket out of there at the last minute. But it almost looks like you're just kind of like watching a bunch of doomed people and trying to see what they're gonna do.
Yeah, it's like they took that last part of Loki where the planets colliding to them and made that
Oh
into a whole
yeah.
movie.
Yeah, yeah, but it does have the one and only Michael Pena, which is amazing. I'm all there for him.
I mean, it has some names in there, but I'm just like, man, this movie, I don't know, man. Maybe if it comes out on Hulu, I'll watch it.
Yeah, it's got Patrick Wilson. It's got the bro from Game of Thrones in it. It's got Kelly Yu, Charlie Plummer, Michael Pena. I mean, that's a good cast for what looks to be an awful movie. The special effects look okay though. I mean, they don't look too bad. Just the plot just seems so ridiculous.
I mean, don't get me wrong, man, I'm a huge Halle Berry fan too, and a
Mm-hmm.
Kelly Hu fan, but man, it looks
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll see. So you guys can look forward to Moonfall. My last trailer could have gone in the Disney Plus section, but I kept it for here because I'm real excited about it. But Disney Plus finally gave us the trailer, a full trailer for Hawkeye. Hawkeye debuts on Disney Plus on November 24th. It gives us a little Hawkeye action, gives us a little Kate Bishop action. What did you think about the Hawkeye trailer?
after I watched, I'm like, yo, this is Die Hard, dude. Give me some Die
Yes,
Hard vibes.
I thought the exact same thing because they went heavy on the Christmassy part of
Yeah.
it, and he's getting too old for this and all sorts of things. It is, yeah, total Die Hard vibes.
Yeah. And then I thought that Kate Bishop was his daughter, but this is a new character.
Yeah, so Kate Bishop is not his daughter. It's just someone else, I guess. And he starts to train her because he seems almost irritated by her, but wants to help her because she's going to take over the mantle of Kate
Yeah.
Bishop or of Hawkeye.
Yeah. I have no idea what they're doing. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, Disney hasn't really done us wrong yet, so I'm ready to watch the Hawkeye. I like the one scene when they're in like a car chase and she's shooting arrows and he's kind of digging through his bag and
Not
he's like,
those.
oh, this one's too dangerous, and he hands her a different one and she fires it off. And the car just explodes and she goes, "You have an arrow more dangerous than that?"
Yeah. I love me some Hallie Steinfeld. Steinfeld?
Yes,
So
Steinfeld.
yeah.
Yeah, you do
So
like her, and she's looking extra good these days. So yeah, good call. In fact, she was recently at the Met Gala, and I don't know if you watched any of this stuff. I tell you what, I don't know what the hell's going on with the Met Gala, but the outfits these people wear gets more and more ridiculous every damn time. And there was a lot of weird stuff that looked like it was right out of like a Batman villain film. But Haley Steinfeld came looking scorching hot, like 10 out of 10.
yeah, but then it didn't even look like her.
No, that's why I liked it,
Yeah.
because I'm not as big of a fan as you are, right?
Yeah.
You like the way she looks as Kate Bishop. That's your Haley Steinfeld. This Haley Steinfeld looked like a completely different person.
Yeah. I was while looking at those photos. I asked my wife, what the hell is a Met Gala, dude? What do you do over there? I have no idea what they do. Is there like
I
a
think it,
show or a fashion show
yeah,
or what is it?
it's a charity event. So they all meet at the Met, and the Met is a museum. And so they invite all the rich and famous to this thing, and they all show up in their used to be their classiest, fanciest outfits. And then over the last 2 or 3 years, it's warped into the weirdest outfit you can drag out of wherever. You're like freaking Lil Nas X was dressed like C3PO.
Yeah, dude, freaking golden armor. What the?
Yeah, there's some weird shit for sure. And so yeah, they all show up to raise awareness for something and raise money, and that's what it is.
Yeah, Grimes came with a freaking sword. I'm like, what the?
A sword made out of an AK-47. I'm like,
Yeah,
wow, okay,
way to go for making
you,
a statement.
you do you. Okay, so let's move on. I think it's time for the news jacuzzi. All right, so I got some good stories here. I'm gonna get them all open. My first one has to do with Nirvana. So this is kind of interesting.
Oh
I'm a big
yeah,
Nirvana fan. Nirvana's when I was growing up and we had MTV, the 80s had given us so much butt rock. And it was so frustrating. You had all these guys, the Motley Crues,
crazy hair.
the Poisons, the Skid Rows of the world. They all look like a bunch of women with their fluffy hair and makeup, and they sang this screechy, like crap rock music. To me, the 80s was the worst era ever for rock music because the 70s, the 60s, they had amazing rock music. And Nirvana came out with Smells Like Teen Spirit, and it was like, and it was eye-opening. I had never seen anything like it, and this was the return of good rock and roll. It was alternative to what we had been seeing, and they created an entire new genre based off what they did, and they created one of the best albums I'd ever seen. And the Nevermind album was fantastic. Well, the cover of the Nevermind album, is probably many know, had a little baby swimming. He's reaching out for like some sort of money, like a
A
dollar bill or
dollar, yeah,
something.
yeah.
Yeah, like on a hook. And his little baby ween was on the cover. This is back before everybody was all weird about nudity. And it's no big deal. Who hasn't seen a little baby naked? No big deal. And it's been going on forever. So the dude, his name is Spencer Eldon. He's 30 years old now, by the way. Does that make you feel old? Makes me feel old. The baby on the cover of this thing is 30 years old. So he's been profiting off his 15 seconds of fame forever. Homie's been reenacting and taking photographs of himself in this pose
Yeah,
like
doing the
every
same
five
pose.
years. Yeah, for the entirety of his life, he's been doing it. And so decades later, all of a sudden, homies decided to sue Nirvana, which, by the way, doesn't have their lead singer anymore, but has a super rich, super famous Dave Grohl. For those who don't know, the Foo Fighters lead singer was the drummer of Nirvana. Um, he's decided to sue Nirvana for child pornography. And it's just like, what the heck, guy? I mean, you've kind of missed the boat. I think I'm gonna sue them for child pornography because it's been so long and you've profited off of it. Why now? That's my question.
Didn't he say it was gonna just was messing with his like mental health and stuff like that?
Yeah, Mr. Eldon has suffered permanent harm because of his association with the album, including emotional distress and a lifelong a lifelong loss of income earning capacity. What the hell does that even mean?
He was
I mean,
making money off of this. Like,
one of his lawyers said he hasn't met anyone who hasn't seen his genitalia. It's a constant reminder that he has no privacy. His privacy is worthless to the world. And I'm like, homie, if you're worried that your ween looks like a little tiny baby ween, it's cool. You were a little tiny baby. We all know it probably grew. Get over it. It's so weird to me that this guy, and he wants I mean, he wants a lot of money in this lawsuit. So uh it'll be interesting to kind of follow up on the story to see. I'm sure it's going to be dismissed because I just think that he's kind of missed the window
yeah.
of doing it. Because it says here he recreated the album's cover for the 10th, 17th, 20th, and 25th anniversaries of it. So I
Because it's
think
kind of
that
it's yeah, it's funny how like he's complaining that everybody's seen it, but you're the one that's showing it to everybody, you know? Like,
yeah, and I guess what I'd heard doesn't say it in this story, but I heard part of it was he was trying to host some sort of event, and he wanted Nirvana to give a thumbs up for using their music and the real photos and all of their copyrighted stuff, and they, for whatever reason, they said no, they denied it. And I think that's what happened is he got pissed and said, hey, what the hell, if you're gonna be mean to me, I'm gonna cause some problems for you.
I
And I
made you.
the only reason anybody liked this album is because of my little tiny, baby peen. It's like, bro, get over it.
The thing is, like, it's because the album cover is one of the most memorable ones. That's
And
probably why
from,
it's a
in my opinion, one of the best albums to come out in the last century, couple centuries, because this thing is good. It is a all-time classic. It could never get ruined because the lead singer went way too young, and it was a perfect album. And so this guy is a fool for kind of like messing with it because he probably could have continued to make money off of his 15 minutes of fame.
he basically everybody's just like, you know what, you're gonna be canceled. You know,
Yeah, idiot, freaking idiot. Moving from the Nirvana baby penis over to a really wealthy rapper recently had a $24 million pink diamond stolen from him. Can you believe that?
didn't we call this when he first like revealed it?
We in fact did. If you go back, in fact, the nuts, you need to go back in time and see if you can find when we talked about this. So if I remember right, and you can tell me if I'm remembering correctly, we said this is crazy. Little Uzi Vert has implanted a $24 billion diamond into his forehead. And he straight up looks like our homie Vision now. And we
Yeah,
made jokes that someone's gonna yank that from him.
just
And
like
guess what?
Thanos.
Yeah, I know. Someone totally Thanos him. And so yeah, he got it straight ripped out of his head. It says Little Uzi. It's a hard one to say.
Lil Uzi.
Little Uzi Vert said fans at a music festival ripped off the pink diamond that was implanted into his forehead earlier this year. Little Uzi Vert, his real name is Samir Basil Woods. So there's a weird hot tip for everybody. Shared the revelation while attending the 18th anniversary of Jay-Z's 40/40 Club. He told TMZ that the incident happened during a performance of the Rolling Loud Miami 2021, an annual hip hop festival. He says, I had a show at Rolling Loud and I jumped into the crowd and they kind of just ripped it out. Little Uzi 26 said, I still have the diamond, so I feel good. So he was able to recover it, even though someone tried to just yoink it from him.
Maybe somebody was just like, putting their hands up, trying to catch him. Oh shit.
No way. You know what? I mean, you're at a Little Uzi Vert fan, so you know for a fact when that guy comes body surfing over you, you're like,
She's like,
ah, because every one of those people knows the value of that thing and it's right there. God, how bad does that hurt?
I mean, it's probably just like kind of like glued on.
Ripping out. It wasn't. So it's I saw how they did it. It's basically like one of these barbell piercings.
Oh yeah,
I would
okay.
suggest for everybody who's ever seen like the nips, when you get your boobies pierced, it's like that. So they take the forehead skin because we can all kind of like furrow our forehead and they pop the bar through it. And that's how the bar was attached to the diamond.
Yeah, it'd be like a quick sharp pain. Ouch.
Yeah. So it would be probably similar to maybe having someone go like this with a razor on your forehead, just cut across.
Yeah.
So sorry, little Uzi. You should have brought a little Uzi with you to protect your diamond.
How did they return it? Right?
Well, I'm imagining as soon as he realized it, there was probably a lot of really big dudes in security that converged on that area until they figured out who had it. No one was leaving.
Nobody gets out until it's recovered. And then that dude would just probably throw it on the ground. There it is.
Bro, what they should have done if the guy was a real thief, if he was from Red Notice and like a real thief, he would have swallowed it. That's what I would have done. If I would have ripped that thing out, even with Uzi's blood on it, I would have like, gulp, and just swallowed it. Went looking for it later.
Can't do
24
that.
million bucks. My next story, we teased this last episode a million years ago, about what the amazing thing that scientists have done with spinach. Scientists have taught spinach how to send emails. It's pretty amazing. Have
Wait.
you gotten any emails recently from spinach? I haven't. It says here that it may sound something out of a futuristic science fiction film, but scientists have managed to engineer spinach plants which are capable of sending emails. Through nanotechnology, engineers at MIT and in the US have transformed the spinach into sensors capable of detecting explosive materials. These plants are able to wireless relay information back to the scientists. The spinach roots detect the presence of nitroaromics in groundwater, a compound that is often found in explosives like landmines. The carbon nanotubes within the plant leaves emit a signal. The signal is read by the infrared camera, sending the alert to the scientists. The experiment is part of a wider study to see if they can use plant neobiotics to have the plants give them some new abilities. So apparently in the end the goal is to have them maybe help us with climate change of some sort.
Well, I'm so confused.
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird story, right? The fact that I think that it's not really, they're not like sitting down and writing us like an amazing email about spinach.
This is what I pictured.
I think the way they've worded it is really weird. I think what it's doing is it's sending some sort of like
Signal.
signal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And why they talk about, because I'm sure the signal has been interpreted and shot off in some sort of email. But yeah, it's a really strange thing. It says that plants are very environmentally responsive. They know what is going on. Oh, they know that there's going to be a drought long before we do. They can detect small changes in properties of soil and water potentially. And if we can tap into those chemical signals, there is a wealth of information we can access. So they'll be able to use plants like spinach to kind of let them know if a climate is changing, if there's going to be a drought before we even realize it's happening.
I can't imagine all like the beef bros would be like, plant lives matter. Go protest all the vegetarians.
I keep thinking about, because I really like Cuphead, like the level where he fights all the spinach and the carrots and all those things. I'm like, yeah, these are like just badass spinaches. They're just like singling it back, boop, 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 telling us what's happening. Watch out, guys, it's coming for you.
Should be one of those what is that one game where you fight the plants versus zombies?
Yes, I can't remember if there was spinach in there. There probably was. And when I was a kid, I hated spinach. And I think it's partially because all I ever had was canned spinach, which, by the way, is by far the worst kind of spinach. Now I eat spinach all the time, but I eat it raw as like salad, like a normal human being. Canned, pre-cooked spinach is straight garbage. It's salty. It's like a loogie and it's disgusting. And the only way my mom could convince me to eat it because she thought I need to eat this canned spinach for my health was can tell me that Popeye the Sailor Man ate spinach and gave him big old muscles, and so she was always trying to give me Popeye spinach, which is still gross.
Yeah, I like putting spinach in my fruit smoothies.
Really,
Yeah. You
the
can't
thing,
taste it, but you're in taking spinach.
the wifey goes kale because kale is one of those superfoods, and she
Yeah.
claims even though it turns her smoothies green, she says you can't tell. But
Yeah, it's
I
the
don't know.
same thing, man. Same thing as spinach. It's a good thing that you're drinking a fruit smoothie.
Yeah,
It tastes like a fruit smoothie, but you're intaking good stuff.
you're getting all those mad nutrients. You can imagine as you're sucking down that smoothie, it's like, no, I was about to send an email.
Spinach
um,
life matters.
Spinach lives matters, my friends. My last and final story has to do with an old favorite of when I was a kid. I don't know if these were still popular when you were a Ute, but do you remember Toys R Us?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Toys R Us closed down all of their locations officially in 2018. So they've been out of business for a while. But guess what? Good news, my friends. Good news for
No
people who
way.
like to buy dumb toys and hang them on their walls. Toys R Us is coming back with more than 400 new locations.
What the?
Yes, Toys R Us is no longer a thing of the past. The beloved store will be returning in 2022. That's next year for anybody keeping count, with more than 400 locations inside of Macy's all around the nation. So they've made a partnership with Macy's to bring that back. So I'm curious on the size. Obviously, all the big box stores are hurting. I think they were hurting long before the pandemic, long before COVID. So I think this is a smart move by one of these big chain stores to use a big portion of their building with someone else. They're going to basically share the space. So we're going to get probably what I would consider a quarter of what we used to remember a Toys R Us being. But yeah, they're coming back. I'm excited, and they'll be bringing back the website.
Yeah, I'm curious to see, like where in Macy's and what they're gonna like. What toys do they choose to put there?
I'm curious too because I can't remember if it was Macy's or not. I kind of feel like it might have been, or it could have been Nordstrom's. But one of these big, anchor stores that they usually have in malls had FAO Schwartz for a while. Do you remember that at all?
Hmm.
So FAO Schwartz is a big toy store from the East Coast, the biggest one in New York, and I think there's a big one in Vegas. And they opened up small FAO Schwartz, either Nordstrom's or Macy's. And it was, I think, it's similar to what this is. And back then, it was literally, I'd say, a 30-foot by 30-foot square of toys, and that was it. So I hope it's more than that. I hope this feels like a real Toys R Us. Like I hope they give them at least a quarter of the store, and it's got like aisles and everything, not just a bunch
Yeah.
of like. I just walked past a bunch of shoes and dresses, and here's a row of toys.
Have you been to Kohl's?
I have been to Kohl's.
I think it's gonna. In my mind, it's kind of like Kohl's, to where they have a little toy section, and that's it.
I hope it's more than that because
Yeah.
JC Penney's used to do that as well. A lot of them used to do that. So Macy's, though, what's kind of interesting about Macy's, JC Penney's is almost completely out of business. We've seen a lot of the other ones go completely out of business. Is they've been having like a comeback. They've been doing really well, and so surprisingly, Macy's is doing pretty good. So I like that they're taking chances and doing something different. So hopefully they don't make the mistake that these other
Yeah.
chains have done and just. All right, man. That's all I've got before we wrap up this bad boy. Is there anything else you want to say before we say goodbye?
Nope. Go watch Shang-Chi, #1 movie 2 weeks in a row. Let's go.
Yeah, it's a blockbuster. And what's cool right now is half the time when you go to the theaters, because it's been out for a bit, the theaters aren't even that busy. My theater had 6 people in it. It was awesome.
Yeah, mine was packed. I went on opening night, so
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the beauty of waiting a little bit. So with that, we will wrap it up. We will bid you all adieu. Everybody have a good one. See you on the flip side. Bye.